I feel like the luckiest man on earth right now.
American schoolteacher Mark Fogel, freed by Russia after 3.5 years in prison, got a flag-waving welcome from U.S. President Donald Trump at a snowy White House on February 11. Trump said it is a positive symbol of the ceasefire in the Ukraine-Russia war.
I think this could be the very important element. You could be a big part of it, actually, because it could be a big, important part of getting the war over with Ukraine.
Regarding Ukraine-Russia war, Trump said both Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed a desire for peace in separate phone calls with him on February 12, and Trump ordered top U.S. officials to begin talks on ending the war in Ukraine.
We had a very good talk with, people didn't really know what President Putin's thoughts were, but I think I can say with great confidence he wants to see it ended also. That's good. And we're going to work toward getting it ended, and as fast as possible.
Zelensky also said he had a meaningful conversation with Donald Trump.
Розмова з президентом Трампом хороша, розмова детальна. Я вдячний президенту за щирий інтерес до наших спільних можливостей.
Trump has long said he would quickly end the war in Ukraine, without spelling out exactly how he would accomplish this. Worldwide News reports.
On February 12, European foreign ministers gathered in Paris to emphasize unity ahead of a meeting with Ukrainian officials. The discussion comes as U.S. President Trump spoke with both Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Zelensky about the ongoing war.
And I would like to remind that on the 24th of February we will mark 30 years of this brutal Russian aggression against Ukraine, and it's not only about against Ukraine, it's against our common values, it's about world order.
German Foreign Minister Baerbock stressed the importance of European unity in support of Ukraine. While NATO membership may not be immediate,
we have always underlined that it's about the territory and the sovereign integrity of Ukraine. And there can be no decision about Ukraine and without Ukraine.
But Europe should do more and more for its own defense, both for the sake of the alliance and for our own sakes.
France reaffirmed their commitment to offering security guarantees. British Defence Minister John Healey also noted that European nations have played a leading role in supporting Ukraine's defence.
What we saw today at the UDCG was almost 50 nations making a clear commitment of allies across the world to continue stepping up the support we give to Ukraine in their fight for freedom, in their fight for the future of their country and the future for our wider security. NATO allies pledged 40 billion euros in military aid for Ukraine in 2024 and then went on to deliver 50 billion.
Worldwide News report.
Russia's emergency services said on February 12 that it had rescued all 139 fishermen stranded on an ice floe, drifting in the Sea of Okhotsk in the western Pacific. Earlier, the ministry said that about 300 were stranded, and that some of them refused to leave without a catch under any circumstances.
Вот ребята отказываются лететь. Все? Вы не будете улетать? Вы уходить не будете со льда? Со льда уходить не будете? Мы поедем все. Тут лодка. Это пипец.
But later the ministry said on the Telegram messaging service that a rescue operation involving helicopters and vessels had brought all 139 stranded people ashore. About a 10-meter ice crack formed from the Russian village of Malki to the mouth of the Dolinka River in the Sakhalin region, setting the fishermen adrift in the Sea of Okhotsk. The Sakhalin Island and the chain of the Kuril Islands are cold, snowy and long, often lasting more than 5 months. Worldwide News reports.
On February 12, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth delivered a blunt message at NATO's headquarters in Brussels, calling the goal of returning Ukraine to its pre-2014 borders unrealistic. He emphasized that NATO membership for Ukraine is not part of the solution to the ongoing war.
We want, like you, a sovereign and prosperous Ukraine. But we must start by recognizing that returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders is an unrealistic objective. Chasing this illusionary goal will only prolong the war and cause more suffering. A durable peace for Ukraine must include robust security guarantees to ensure that the war will not begin again. This must not be Minsk 3.0.
Hegseth stressed that the responsibility for Ukraine's security must fall on Europe and other global allies.
The United States does not believe that NATO membership for Ukraine is a realistic outcome of a negotiated settlement. Instead, any security guarantee must be backed by capable European and non-European troops. If these troops are deployed as peacekeepers to Ukraine at any point, they should be deployed as part of a non-NATO mission, and they should not be covered under Article 5.
He suggested that future peace efforts should focus on robust security guarantees with non-NATO peacekeepers rather than NATO membership. Worldwide News Report. China's military deployed naval and air forces around Taiwan for combat readiness patrols and training missions on February 12.
我们在执行战备警巡任务的时候，都时刻保持舰满舷、弹满舱的状态，武器系统也是处于发射准备状态，随时可以激发。
The military drills were held after 2 U.S. Navy ships sailed through the sensitive Taiwan Strait this week, in the first such mission since President Donald Trump took office last month, drawing an angry reaction from China, which said the mission increased security risks.
中国人民解放军东部战区已经作出回应。我要强调的是，台湾是中国领土不可分割的一部分。台湾问题不是什么航行自由的问题，而是事关中国主权和领土完整的问题。中方坚决反对任何国家以航行自由为名，挑衅威胁中国的主权和安全。
The U.S. Navy, occasionally accompanied by ships from allied countries, transits the strait about once a month. China, which claims Taiwan as its own territory, says the strategic waterway belongs to it. Worldwide News reports. U.S. President Donald Trump's controversial plan to take over Gaza and resettle its Palestinian population has sparked widespread condemnation from Arab officials. At the World Government Summit in Dubai, Arab League Secretary General warned that the plan would lead to further instability and threaten a fragile ceasefire in the region.
لا توجهاته أنا شايفها لكن عقله وتفكيره ما أقدرش أقول لك هو فكر في أخذ الشرق الأوسط إلى إيه لكن من وجهة نظري أنا شايف إنه إذا مضى الرئيس ترامب بهذا الأسلوب في الضغط على الغزاويين وعلى العالم العربي وعلى المصريين والأردنيين والسعوديين وكل هذه القوى ذات التأثير في هذه المنطقة أتصور أنه وبدلاً من حل القضية الفلسطينية حلاً عادلاً يقوم على الدولتين أتصور أنه بيقود الشرق الأوسط إلى دورة جديدة من الخلاف الشديد بين العرب وإسرائيل.
Trump's proposal to resettle Palestinians in neighboring countries like Jordan and Egypt has been rejected by both nations. Jordan fears mass expulsions, while Egypt sees the potential for an Islamist threat. The plan undermines decades of U.S. policy supporting a two-state solution.
الكلام أخذ وعطى هو يقول راية والعالم العربي يقول راية عندك صفقة لن يقبلها العالم العربي هذا واضح يعني كان الردود واضحة وجلية لا يمكن انك انت تفرض واقع لا يمكن انك تفرض واقع.
Worldwide News Report. A 7-year-old girl was found in cardiac arrest and later died after being stabbed in a South Korean elementary school, an official at the Daejeon Metropolitan Office of Education said during a media briefing February 11th.
시청각실 내 장비실에 학생과 교사가 쓰러져 있는 것을 학생의 할머니가 발견하였습니다. 이후 경찰이 잠겨진 문을 열고 들어갔습니다. 17시 40분경 학생은 구급차로 병원으로 이송하였고 학생의 아버지는 해당 학교 교감의 차량으로 병원으로 이동하였습니다.
The girl was a student at the school where the teacher worked, though police have not established a personal relationship between the two so far. The female teacher is being treated for self-inflicted wounds in hospital.
예, 지금 그 12월 9일부터 12월 29일까지 우울증으로 질병 휴직 상태에 있었습니다.
The girl was discovered by her grandmother. The grandmother and other family members had been looking for her after it emerged that she had left her class on Monday, but did not board a private institute bus she was supposed to be on. Worldwide News reports.